Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Thou. I'm Vivek Govekar. Today I'm going to talk about misconceptions again about some of the things about Kundalini and generally an idea of where my awakening and my process is right now. So, as I've said in other videos, I have had to change my lifestyle a little bit. Changes in relationships, changes in job status, and the kind of work I do. But the process is ongoing. It's always in my back. It always keeps doing its work. How to fit that into a new way of adjusting to society and life with this in your back, which is constantly wiggling and giving you some discomfort if you're not in the right position or sit in a certain position or stand in a certain position. But because of the change in routine and change in fixation on certain things, some bad things that were supposed to be discarded are getting out easier. There is a better way of dealing with everything that life throws at you. You don't always win, or there's no winning, there's no losing. It's just removing your ego and whatever attached to it. And whatever you heard, whoever, the content, the people you meet, I mean, because you bless them, because you wish the best for them and see the divine in them, it's easier to let go of some things that happen. You just wash it away along with your meditation, along with your cleansing, because that has been a habit throughout this process of like sewage disposal that has been lacking in most people. In an awakened person, eventually that process will create that for you. After that, though, you are free to create. You're free to make music, write whatever. I was reading some of my previous blog posts. I used to write on Kundalini, but also on cinema, and could have explored that further. So now getting back into that rhythm of writing some reviews and knowing that mindset when you wrote it. What was it? What was your craft? What were you practicing? How much writing had you done? Stuff like that will then decide how what path it takes, and you have to start writing at some point. Then there is the peace and bliss that you get, the immense sense of calm, bliss. You just have to come get out of that other stuff. It cleanses itself. You do something creative, you take your mind in some other direction, and that bliss happens. It is already there, it's already in you. The union between the divine and the human has already been going on. It's ongoing. You weren't aware because your senses were distracted. So, how does that manifest itself in your life as personal details? You see some strife, some friction that you saw at work, dealing with certain people and certain things that are being done, or you have to adjust to and are not sure of yourself. All of that is part of that mundane reality. The higher reality, though, the fact that you have a body, a mind, a working knowledge of the world around you, you can function in that society, then it is not meant to be attached to. You are meant to function in all of those things, the roles that you play, and then come back to this. And then the next experience will be better because you have experienced something, it has been assimilated the right way this time. An experience is not just left to fester in your mind and create some bad images, fears, or resentment, or anger. All of that negativity is because of the content that you attached to from yesterday. And this time, the cleansing process is perfect. It is God's cleansing process. The sewage disposal is not in the hands of the human. So that becomes a better process. You deal with it much better. And then your entire life gets back on track faster. You didn't even know there was a track in the past. You were just stumbling along, not knowing much. And now, yeah, you understand what to keep, what to discard, because it is not left to you. It is left to that process. You're just knowing that, okay, I have to come back to this. This discomfort that I'm feeling, which is physical, mental, emotional, is a byproduct of me neglecting to do the process, neglecting to work on what it wants me to do. And if I feel something else is important, that is an illusion. It wants to remove that illusion. Everything can be enjoyed in life. Each thing has to be given its priority, given its weightage, given its relevance to your life as it pertains to everything that follows. But doing so has to be done by being in that moment and not carrying too much baggage. You have set your goal, you've set your intention. Sankalpa is the word. Sankalpa is the word in Sanskrit where it means intention, focused intention on your intended goal. Once you have that and you have used your methods of affirmations and whatever methods you use to inculcate that habit, that thought, so that that reality manifests itself in your life and start working towards it, then you have only to focus on your day to day activities, not on that goal all the time. You're working towards it. You did what you had. Maybe you kept a log of where you're headed, how you're going there, how you're going to make those things happen, and then forget about it. Then it's just the action. When you're doing that action, so your goal, for example, was to become a music, like a singer, musician, play some instrument. You set up a goal, you set a deadline where you're going to arrive, how you're going to arrive there, how long it's going to take you. And then whatever has been written there, okay, learn to play the guitar, learn to sing, uh, broaden your abilities to write songs or anything that you have decided. Start doing that. Focus on only that. Other ideas will come, everything will come. Set a craft, a method for that. And at the end of the day, whatever you have learned, then don't fix it. Oh, why didn't I play this song well? Oh, then that is a baggage. Then you have to move to the next thing. Do that. Be very, very good at that to the best of your ability because you're spending time. There are only 24 hours in a day. Of that, let's say you have 10 productive waking hours. Each moment, if you're better today, will solve your problems tomorrow. If you don't procrastinate, if you don't neglect to correct something, correct course immediately. And for that, the mind has to be as free as possible. So you're only focusing on that day. The ability to do that is lacking because of the stress and strife, and because what we think is our tension, is our worries, we hold on to dearly. You can give them up. You can easily hold on to happy thoughts. The fear and the stress actually keeps you away from making any improvements, changes, or seeing in the direction of something different. Having something else in your life and being completely able to transfer your consciousness towards that activity, leaving baggage from something else behind, that's the training, that's the mindfulness, that's the approach. Then, after the hard work that you have put in into these practices, the reward is that you can do these things easily, stay in that moment, not have unnecessary emotions, or have a choice of having an emotion or not having an emotion, or thoughts, having to attach to them if you need to, or witnessing them if you so desire. That is the training and end product that then has to be implemented in practical life. This is not easy, nothing is easy. But I'm telling you the difference pre awakening and post awakening, because for the first time, I'm now faced with situations that I used to be. After the awakening, I was at home, I was a stay at home dad and stayed isolated. But isolation is not the goal, isolation is the necessity to be able to assimilate this process, assimilate the energy, and do the highest, best that you can do to achieve your potential that it is guiding you towards, to show you where you could be, where you should be, that will give you inner happiness, bliss, and bring about abundance in your life, prosperity in your life, and take you to a higher level. But these are the things that you need to discard. These are the repetitive patterns that have been created in you by constant repetition of certain ideas, thoughts, conditioning, social practices. And look, here is an opportunity because you've seen a higher level, a other level of consciousness of reality. This is how you bring it down to your everyday reality. So bring heaven to earth. That is said in many spiritual traditions, bringing heaven to earth. This is literally what it means. This is practically what it means. In my life, as expressed in the life of one individual, this individual soul given a body that is now experiencing the ascendance to a higher level of consciousness. And that is the manifestation of it through effort, through practice, but mainly through divine grace. The awakening of a Kundalini is divine grace. That is not something that you can bring about. You can only bring yourself to that level, certain practices. But what happens afterwards is at the prompting, I wouldn't even say prompting, it's just you are surrendered to that energy. If you don't, there is minor discomfort. But that discomfort is a reminder, like a snooze alarm. You set an alarm, you shut it off, then there's a snooze function, it wakes you up again. So this is the snooze function is giving you bodily discomfort or emotional strife of a little, something that takes you out of your comfort zone and puts you back in alignment with where the energy wants you to go. How you change yourself is going to be your individual journey. I cannot help you, and no one else can help you. The path is what I'm giving you. Individually, how this affects you, which are your proclivities, where does your ego and your senses, where do they lead you or mislead you, is your individual thing. Depending on your age, upbringing, background, social conditioning, and where you grow up, and all of that stuff. No one can tell you that. Removing that and putting a better system in place that works for you is going to be guided by your inner voice, your conscience. Anyone can do this. Anyone can start putting these practices into their life to make their life better. Which is why I'm telling you this, and all other people that make videos are like, okay, save yourself the trouble and do it now. Meditation, mindfulness, witnessing your thoughts, actions, reassessing, trying to live moment to moment, just doing one action and finding a way. If certain thoughts do not get discarded easily, then that's where the method should be put in place. Certain thoughts are easily changed, certain activities replace other activities, then do it, but do it, stick to it. And it's a constant journey. And then keep a journal, notice what changes have happened in you, write, have conversations with yourself about what you were doing. Stream of consciousness writing. Whatever dialogue, inner dialogue is going on, that makes a great story, that makes great fiction. You don't have to leave it inside. Inside, it's just gonna corrode your insides and your mental apparatus and not allow you to be what you could be at your highest self, which is where you bring yourself to possibly get a Kundalini awakening. You can only bring yourself to a certain level. And that level varies for people. Some are very close to it right from the start. Others, there's a longer journey. But start the process. It is about assessing who you are, which is why I give methods like karma yoga, Zen meditation, or the Tao. Anything that works for you. Anything where you read the message and feel, oh, yeah, this. Whatever you crave, whatever you see in the outside world that attracts you is you, the real you. Why you are attracted towards it is because you are doing something else that was at a certain level of joy, of bliss, of consciousness, and something at an elevated level has been presented to you. Immediately the mind attracts itself or gets attracted to that. Pursue that. And there is nothing to be given from the outside, which is why layers have to be discarded. And if something better comes along that helps you discard those layers, then that's your higher level of ascendance, gradual ascendance, and things guiding you in that direction. Go in that direction. Meditation will help you. Mindfulness will help you set course and set you on the right course. Removing your ego will stop you from saying, no, 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 I'll stubbornly persist and just do this, even if it's wrong. It's a practice, it's a journey, it's a method. So these are some of the things that I just wanted to discuss today. I guess this is episode 65. And again, peace, love, and blessings to everyone watching. Like my channel, subscribe, leave comments for me, leave questions for me. I'll do my best to answer them. This is Vivek Govekar saying Namaste, be well.